Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well and I'm so excited that you decided to join me for this 20-minute full body resistance band stretch and mobility session. So as you can probably tell from the title, you will need a resistance band for this workout, but most of the movements can also probably be substituted with some kind of broomstick and also with a towel. So you might want to use a mixture of those two. And full disclosure, you might not be able to do all of the movements, but you can definitely follow along for the majority with just a towel. So how the structure of the stretch is going to work is first we're just going to do around 3 minutes warming up with some mobility, some rotations just to warm up our muscles and joints before we go into using the resistance band to really get that deep stretch. We'll be holding a series of upper body, lower body stretches starting from standing up, seated, moving all the way to lying down. And we will just be using that band to get a little bit of a more intense stretch, a little bit deeper into those muscles and joints. So I hope you're excited. Definitely take this time to relax, to slow down. It will be a slow-paced, low-intensity workout or stretch, whatever you wish to call it. So definitely don't stress while you're doing it. Your stretches might not look identical to mine, but if you're feeling a kind of slight stretch or like you're pushing your muscles slightly in their range of motion, then you're doing it right, even if it doesn't look identical to me or to anyone else. So yeah, without further delay, I'm going to press the timer and let's get started with the stretch. Alright, so first we're just going to go into some neck circles. So we're just going to slowly rotate one side and then the other side. Perfect, and now we're going to take our shoulders and we're going to rotate them, so going backwards and then forwards, trying to take them through their full range of motion, so right up to your ears and then back again. Perfect, and now we're just going to increase the range of motion a little bit. We're going to take some arm circles. So again, we're going backwards, really trying to touch your arms to your ears, and then forwards again. Trying to go through that full range to what your mobility and flexibility allows. Perfect, and now we're just going to take some wrist circles. So we're going to put our hands together. We're going to try and keep our elbows together as well. And we're just going to be doing a few rotations, one side and then the other side. Again, trying to go to the full range of motion that we can today. Perfect, and now we're going to put our hands on our hips and we're just going to go into some hip circles. So again, going into that full range of motion. And now we're going to take one foot off the ground. You can hold onto a wall for support if you need. And we're just going to be rotating our ankles a couple circles one direction and a couple circles the other direction. And switch feet. So the other foot is elevated off the ground. And we're just rotating the ankle one direction and then the other. Perfect. And now we're going to grab that band and we're going to get into those resistance band stretches. So first, we're just going to be almost doing arm circles. We're going to have our arms straight and we're just going to be passing the band around our body. So keeping our arms locked out so that the band is straight overhead in the top position, and we're circling it around. The closer in your hands are on the band, the harder the stretch is going to feel. So if you want to make it a little bit easier, just move your hands further out, and if you want to make it harder, move them further in. Perfect, and now keeping the band in that grip, so holding it at the outer edges, and we're just gonna take some rotations around our torso. So we're going in front of our head, then behind our head, really just getting some movement in those shoulders and arms. Again, I'll show you from the side. Again, trying to keep our arms as straight as possible, so not letting them bend like this, and trying to pull outwards on the band to maintain that tension on it. Perfect, and now we're going to keep an overhand grip on the band, so turning around your hands if you need to be more comfortable. We're going to keep the band behind our backs. We're going to pull outwards on the band, like I said, keeping that resistance on it, and then we're going to push our arms outwards, so trying to push our hands away from our back and towards the wall behind you. Really feeling a nice stretch in your chest and your arms. I'll show you from the side. Perfect, and let me just wipe off my sweat here because it's a really hot day. Even though I live in England, somehow it's super hot. And then we're going to step on the band, and we're going to bring it back, our hand back behind our backs, behind our heads, and we're going to get a nice stretch in the shoulder and the triceps. Remembering to keep our core engaged, so keep our tummy sucked in and our glutes, our bum squeezed. Nice, and to come out of the stretch, we're just going to raise our leg up, and then we're going to switch sides. So again, let me show you from the front. We're stepping on the band with our foot. We're bringing it upwards, hand behind our back, behind our heads, and we're getting the nice stretch in the shoulders and the triceps. If this is very painful for you, or you haven't managed to actually bring the band up, then you're just using a band that's slightly too heavy for your level of strength and mobility, and we just want to use a slightly lighter band, and then you should be able to do this exercise. I'll show you from the side. So keeping our torso in a straight line as much as we can. Perfect, and slowly coming out of it, raising our foot to release that resistance, and working on the shoulders. What we're going to do is we're going to have the band behind our backs. We're going to interlace our palm, and then from the back, this is what it's going to look like. So our palm is facing, again, the wall behind us, away from our bodies, interlaced through the band. And in the front, we're just going to be having our hand on the opposite shoulder and really pulling that band downwards to feel a nice stretch here in the shoulder. Perfect, and now we're just going to do the exact same thing on the opposite side. So band comes behind our back, palm facing away from us but interlaced through the band. And then we have our hand, our opposite hand here on top of our shoulder, and we're pulling that band down, keeping this arm in close to your torso so that you really feel that stretch in that shoulder. Perfect, and now just give me 1 second and we're gonna go down to the floor, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna have the band around the outside of our feet, so close to our heels, and we're gonna use the band to pull in towards us while also rounding our back so that we get a nice stretch in the upper back. So you wanna have your legs relaxed here because we're not looking to stretch so much the calves or the back of our legs, but rather we wanna really stretch out that upper back. So almost using that band as resistance to really pull, to round your back and pull your torso in almost. Perfect, so now we're gonna take one foot out of the band, one foot is still with the band looped around it, and this time we are gonna relax our back and our chest, and instead we're gonna pull the band so that we're pulling our foot in, really feeling that nice stretch in the calf and in the back of the leg. So really wanna think about extending that foot and then pulling it in. Move your hands further down the band, closer to your foot to really increase the intensity of that stretch. Perfect, and now looping the band over the other foot, we're just going to switch legs. Again, same thing, relaxing the back, so you don't want to feel a stretch in your back, particularly here, but we're just using the band to really pull the foot in, feeling that nice stretch in the back of the leg. Perfect, and now we're going to lie down on our side and we're just looking to get a nice stretch in the quads. So looping the band through your ankles or just your calves, somewhere in the lower part of your leg, extending one leg, the bottom leg out, and then using the band to pull the top leg in towards you, really into that quad stretch. So again, the closer that your hands are to your leg, the further down the band, the more you can really pull your heel into your butt and get that nice stretch in the quads. Nice, and switch sides. So in a kind of side lying position, band loops through the front leg, or the leg that's going to be on top, and then we're just using the band to pull that leg, pull the heel, our heel towards our butt into that quad stretch. So if you're not really feeling the stretch, try and move the band a little bit lower down, close towards your ankle. It will just give you a bit more leverage to pull your leg and your heel into your bum so that you feel it in the top leg, in that front of the leg, the quad. Nice, and now we're gonna stay lying down, and this time we're gonna once more loop the band through, but we're going to be going into more of a hamstring stretch. So the leg without the band is extended out, and the leg with the band, we're going to raise it up in the air, and we're going to pull on that band to try and pull that leg in towards our chest, in towards our torso, while keeping it as straight as possible. So if you have a slight bend like me, that's fine, but we are thinking about trying to keep it straight rather than bending like this. Again, the closer your hands are to your legs, so the further down the band they are, the more kind of intensity you'll be able to get in that stretch. Perfect, and now we're gonna just, keeping our hand on the band, we're gonna lower our leg down to the floor, so we're really feeling a nice stretch in that inner thigh, in those adductors. So trying to lower our leg down to the floor as much as is possible towards the same side of our body, and still pulling on that band. Perfect, now we're going to take our leg across to the other side, so still resistance band on the same leg, and keeping our shoulders on the ground as much as possible, we're just crossing it over and again trying to let our leg reach that floor on the opposite side, really feeling a stretch here in the hips and the glutes, perhaps even the lower back as well. And remembering to keep breathing, and as you breathe and your muscles loosen, you can try and get a little bit deeper into that stretch. Perfect, so slowly relax that leg, take off the resistance band, and we're just gonna go through the same series of 3 stretches on the other leg. So loop the resistance band round, you can have it on your calf, a little bit lower on your hamstring, wherever feels good for you. And we're gonna have the leg that's working up in the air, the other leg extended, and we're using the resistance band to pull the leg in towards our chest, towards our torso. Feeling a nice stretch in the hamstring and in the back of the leg. Making sure to not push excessively with these stretches. So at that point where you feel a little bit of discomfort, a little bit of resistance, then you want to stop there. You don't want to kind of yank your body into uncomfortable positions. All right, and now we're lowering our leg down towards the floor on the same side of the body, still pulling that resistance band, pulling the leg in towards our chest, our torso, feeling a nice stretch in those inner thighs and the adductors. But again, like I said, remembering not to kind of try and be like make an amazing stretch and end up hurting yourself, because you want to go and work with the limits of your body, which might be different today from any other day that you do this stretch. Perfect, and now we're going to cross our leg over. So last stretch here, trying to keep our shoulders on the ground, trying to let our leg fall slowly down to the ground, and we're feeling a nice stretch in those hips and those glutes. Perfect, guys, that's it. Slowly come out of that stretch, take off the resistance band. I'm so proud of you for finishing this stretch. I hope you're feeling relaxed. And before we come up to the standing position, I just want us to take a few deep breaths here on the mat. So lying down, let your palms rest in a position that's comfortable for you. Lower back pressing against the ground, and we're just going to take a few deep breaths. And slowly make your way up. I hope that you're feeling relaxed, both body and mind, that your muscles are feeling loose, you feel like you've had a good stretch, and also that you found this calming and relaxing. Whatever you do in life, whether you need this stretch because you have an intensive job or you have a lot of tasks to do at home, or if you follow my other workouts, my Summer Shred program, which is on my channel, definitely check it out, Live Well with Nicola. We do a lot of strength and HIIT workouts there, so it is very beneficial, in my opinion, from time to time, just to allow ourselves, both body and mind, to really calm down and kind of slow down the pace a little bit. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed. Definitely like the video if you did, and comment with anything that you might want to see changed, improved, or any video suggestions that you might have, because I'm always looking for new ideas of what will be useful for everyone out there. So yeah, thank you so much for joining. I hope you have a very relaxing and happy day, rest of the week, and yeah, thank you. See you soon, hopefully. Bye.